I'm back with another video. Basically today what I'm going to be talking about is my prenatal depression and like postpartum depression after my giving birth or whatever. Hold on, give me a sec. I was going to do it outside, but decided not to. Un momento, por favor. Alright, so that looks a little bit better. But yeah, I got inspired to do this video because another fellow YouTuber that I watched, she did a video and I related so much to it, and the fact that I seen other females going through it really inspired me also to do this video. So yeah, so basically I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys about it. I experienced prenatal depression with both my kids. I want to say the reason for my son is because first go round I wanted a girl, and then on top of that I was just really going through a lot with that time at that time, like with my family or whatever. Like that was really like my showing out stage, like I guess you want to say bad girl phase, where I felt like nobody couldn't tell me anything. I was my own boss, and I was already working and doing for myself or whatever. So like basically I just felt like I didn't need anybody type of thing, and in reality it was just like I was pushing away the wrong people. But basically it was just so much going on, like I couldn't really like focus on my pregnancy. Well, at least my first one, I couldn't really focus on it. It wasn't until later on, like I say, like my 6th or 7th month, where I actually was like, let me just come to realization that I'm having a boy. Like I'm having a boy, I'm about to give my husband his son. And it after a while, I wasn't so down, but it was to the point where I wouldn't want to eat. Like I didn't have an appetite, and I would literally force myself to eat because I'm like, you know what, I'm carrying a child. Like it's not even just about me anymore. Like I need to be considerate, and that would be my way of like basically forcing myself to eat. And going through that, it just made me, I just felt so, I don't know, like it's different emotions. Like I wasn't feeling myself. Like I would literally wake up every day and just be like, what's the point of getting up? Like I would literally just want to stay in bed all day. I didn't want to be around anybody. And it would really be like, Jordan would be like, you need to see people, you need to get up and walk, you need to do something, and whatever cases. Because one, he was telling me like, it's gonna make it harder for me when I go into labor, and I need to stop distancing myself from people and pushing myself away from people. And then, I was just like, hold on, there's Jamoni. So yeah, hold on, yeah. But anyways, so basically I was going through that, and it was just really hard. Like I would say every time, hold on you guys, it'd be times when people come over and I'm just like, why are you here? Like I really don't want to entertain you right now. Like it was just so much. Like it was times when my mom would feel like I'm being selfish, even like when she came around, because when she first found out I was pregnant, she wasn't too ecstatic about it or whatever. So basically, go ahead. So basically, like with that being said, it was just like a little bit, it was like a lot more harder, I say, to like go through that, because I didn't really have her support in the beginning, and that really bothered me the most. Is because like when you're pregnant, or you're going through your little phases, or getting married, or whatever the situation is, you always want that. For a girl, it's more of like, well, we want both of our parents, but in my situation, my mother is my father because I lost my father. So it's just like I really needed her, and like at that time she was just being so, she just felt like I was moving too fast or whatever. And at that point in time, I just felt like, that's not something I really wanted to hear. I wanted to, hear, I'm going to support you regardless. I know it's going to be hard. And I never said it was going to be easy or whatever, raising our son. But I got through it. After I had my son, I want to say I had postpartum depression, but not as severe. It was very mild. It was hard going day by day. Because, with everybody coming over, talking to me, letting me know. I didn't really go into debt and tell people what I had going on because it's kind of, to me, it's hard to explain. Like, from another person point of view who hasn't experienced it, it's kind of like, saying like, what's the point of me explaining it to you if you never experienced it? Like, it's like so much, and it's just to the point where I'm just like, what? I'll just keep it to myself. I tried to explain it to Jordan, but I really feel like he understood what I was saying, but I really felt like he think I was taking it as a joke, and I really wasn't taking it as a joke. It wasn't really a joke, and I wasn't seeking attention. It was really a lot going on with me deep down, and all this other stuff. So hold on, guys. Hold on. Anyways, so yeah, so I don't know where I really left off, but okay. Basically, with all that going on, like, don't get me wrong, I love my son. Like, I would die, I will go to jail, I will kill for him. Like, there's no rules when it comes down to him. But you ever had your mind running, like, sometimes you don't even know what you're thinking of or what's going on right then and there because you're just so overwhelmed with a lot of stuff. Like, between me adjusting to being a new mom, my relationship and my family and other things that I had going on with myself personally, it was just a lot to take in. So, that kind of went on for like, I'd say 3 or 4 months. And, eventually things were better. Like, I still had the problems, but things got better. Like, it wasn't to the point where I felt like I needed to seek help. Peyton, on the other hand, when I found out I was pregnant with her, it was more of a oh boy type of feeling because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't have any prenatal depression before. I mean, when I was pregnant with her, it was more of it. Well, I would say yes. Again, with this, it was more of this time it reversed. In the beginning, I was happy, and then towards the end, like, everything just felt wrong. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, when I found out, I honestly wasn't even gonna find out the sex of her. What I was basically gonna do, I was just gonna, when I have her, I was gonna find out what she was gonna be. But when I had the appointment to do the sex, to find out what the sex is, something just told me, like, you know what, Drea, just go ahead and, find out. And when my doctor just came out and told me, you're having a girl, like, I was happy. Like, it was just so much emotions. Like, how it would have came off, you would have thought, like, I was upset. But I really wasn't. I was just like, wow, like, I'm about to have a baby girl. And, like, it's actually happening. Like, I'm getting what I wanted. I'm about to have my pair, my boy and my girl. If we decided not to have any more kids or whatever case, or whatever the situation was, I would at least say, what, I have both sex. So, I was happy. I was ready. I think the day of, I actually went to go buy clothes because I was just like, now that I know what you are, I know what kind of bedding I want, I know all this type of stuff, I just knew. I was ready. Then, like, the last couple months, like, I don't know, something just set over me, and like I felt like I had no control over it. Like I didn't know what type of emotion. I started assuming a lot of stuff. Like it started to affect my relationship to the point where sometimes I didn't want to be touched, didn't want to talk. Um, I just certain things that I was allowing to happen, I didn't want to. Like I was being very distant with my son for a point in the time, and again, I automatically I knew what was going on, and it's like you can't avoid it. It's just something you just have to like let it take its course, and I remember myself feeling so empty. Like, I would just be like, I hate this feeling. Like, sometimes I'm talking to myself in my head, and it's like just me and myself, just, I'm answering myself, like, stop it. Like, you need to do better. You're about to have another child, just like still young. He's 2 years old, and I'm about to have a newborn. It was just, I don't know, it's just so much. Fast forward, I have her now. My labor experience with her was just over the top, like just a lot of stuff. Between them giving me my epidural too early and messing up my back at the same time, I had to get a blood patch. Basically, what happened was is that I had a spinal leakage from the procedure. I mean, they did everything right supposedly, but basically what happened was, I think they punctured something in my back, which caused, me to have liquid leaking from my brain. And basically, every time I would sit up or stand up, I would get these severe headaches. Like, basically, like, it felt like 30 people were standing over my head throwing concrete at me, like cement, something really hard at me. But the minute I laid down, everything was fine. Like, I didn't have the headaches or nothing. So imagine going through that and having a newborn and a son on top of everything else that you have going on with all that going, happening. I remember I would drink coffee, like espresso, shots of espresso just to like stay up. And I think I had so much coffee that I ended up giving myself anxiety attacks. I was hallucinating. I felt like somebody was after me. I couldn't breathe. I would literally wake up, ask my mom and Jordan, like, feel my heartbeat, because I really felt like I was dying. Like, it was really bad. It was to the point where I felt like I was going to die that night. And the next day I had to go to the hospital, and I told them what was going on, and the nurse that was, prepping me or whatever cases, because she said automatically I had to get the spinal tap. Basically, it's the blood patch where they take 2 or 3 tubes of my own blood and put it in my back to basically block the leakage. So they don't numb you, they don't do anything, they don't put you to sleep. That's all you. Like, that's all you. And it was really hard. On top of that, Jordan was at work, so it was just me, my newborn, and Josiah. And they had to take them out of the room or whatever, because dealing with that stuff, everything has to be like sanitized, clean. Nothing can not be disinfected. So I was bearing through that, and I was talking to my doctor, and he was asking me, like, what's going on, like, other stuff that he felt like was wrong with me. And I told him, and he was just like, if this is the second time around and it's something that you feel like, you have no control of, and, with my thoughts and everything I had going on, not saying, I wasn't having any suicidal thoughts. I mean, I felt like I wanted to hurt something, but I had enough strength to know that I didn't want to hurt anything around me, but somehow, some way I wanted to hurt something. And he just felt like, at that point in time, I needed to seek help. I needed to see a doctor, because I might have to be prescribed medication. And, like, I really felt like I hit my lowest. Like, I really hit my lowest, because it was just, like, it's not me. Like, if you know me, I'm very calm, but then again, I have a lot of energy. Like, I'm very energetic. I want to do stuff. I'm the one that'll spark up things to do or whatever. And for me to just feel like I shut down and went into like this little dark hole, And like, I felt like nobody could save me, like nobody could help me. I felt like it was just me, myself, and I, and I didn't really blame, well, I don't want to say I didn't blame him, but it was certain things that I was going on with myself that he helped, activate what I had going on. But it's a lot. If somebody's telling you they're depressed and they're pregnant, or even after they give birth, you know, take them seriously. Like, even if it feels like, it's a joke, or you might not be taking it serious, like, take it seriously. Because even though we may not want you to talk, we may not want to talk about it, or, give too much feedback on what's going on, just to know that you support and you understand and you're actually, like, believing what we're saying will help. It will help. Because when you're going through your own personal things and you're experiencing so much things, and year after year things just keep happening and happening, you're trying to fight these emotions, and it's bad. But the minute you get pregnant, or just in general when you hit your breaking point, how bad depression can last, or how it can even just not even come out of nowhere. Obviously it can come from somewhere, but you don't know. Like, you don't know when it's just gonna hit you. Like, that's just something you just gotta let happen. And to explain that to somebody, what you're going through, whatever case is, it's very hard. It's not easy. It's really hard. I thank God for my kids. I don't regret them not one bit. But I just know I need to get myself better. I always put myself in this hole, and I dig myself so deep to the point where it's like I feel like I can't get out. And another thing why you don't really want to talk to people about it is because you don't want people to feel sorry for you. We don't want to tell you it's going to be okay. We don't want you to, people to tell you, oh, get over it, or, you need to do something. It's really not that easy. It's not easy. But I just had to take it day by day and, be there for my kids the best way I can. And I can honestly say it has been a journey. It has been a journey with everything, and dealing with that. It's just a beautiful and scary feeling at the same time. Like, I'm not even joking. But I am thankful that, I'm fighting it. I'm still kind of fighting it. But it's not as bad to the point where I feel like, I can't control myself, or like I need to speak to somebody, I need to seek attention about it. It's not that bad. I don't know if you guys have any questions, or advice, or just want to reflect on your personal experience with prenatal depression and postpartum depression. I'm all open for it. You guys can email me if you want to, have it a personal discussion, because I have had YouTubers, hit me up about certain things that I have talked about in my past videos. But to sit here and talk about it, even though I'm gonna put it out on YouTube for a lot of others to see it, it feels good. It feels good because I don't have nobody over me or talking around me. It's just me, myself, just letting it all out. And I never actually I tried explaining it to Jordan, but I can't really explain much of it. Like, just what I told you guys is basically how I told him. And unless you're experiencing it, you would never know how the person feels or what that person is going through, unless you dealt with it yourself. So, I'm here. I'm, here to give any advice. If you want to know more, if you need another video for me to go more in depth about it, or any questions, concerns, just let me know. And I'm open. I don't deny any feedback or anything you guys want to talk about. But this is well overdue. It's well overdue. But as usual, you guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. Please, reach out to me if you're somebody who's experiencing this or experienced it. Maybe you can help me, or maybe I can help you. This is not something that people should want to go through by themselves. Some people do. I mean, I did at once upon a time, but now that I'm understanding it more and I'm fighting it, it's a little bit easier to take on. So, yeah. Bye.